So what I started yesterday, accounts payable. Right? Please mute everybody. Okay. I started accounts payable. There what I discussed. Did anybody wants to tell what I discussed yesterday?
Accounts payables, madam.
Huh?
Accounts payables. Yesterday we discussed.
Accounts payable is in accounts payable. Why we use this accounts payable submodel?
Or vendor transactions.
Yes. And the transaction update the GL also, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, how the vendor transaction from accounts payable start update the GL model?
Yes, madam. Actually, whenever we prepare transactions for GL, we need SA. Coming to the vendor, we have to create some different document type. Example, KR. Now we have to prepare KR document type. We had first of all we have to create document type, and we have to prepare GL accounts.
What I'm telling, no, Srini, listen. What I'm asking. So, how does transactions of vendor update the GL? Simply question, direct answer you should tell.
Okay.
How the transactions of vendor will update to the GL?
We are assigning GL to the accounts payable now.
What, Swarna?
We are assigning GL to the accounts payable now.
Exactly. That is the direct answer. That's it. Since we are assigning the GL account into the vendor master, the transactions of vendor, it is going to update the GL number. Simple answer, right? So before I create the vendor master, okay, I want to create one vendor master. Did I create directly the, can I create the vendor master directly? One second. Anusha, tell me. Anusha, are you there? You want to tell? Okay. Can you Sairaj? Is not there. Ravitej? Can I create the vendor master directly right now, right away? Anybody wants to tell?
No, ma'am, we can't create directly.
And what should I do first?
Just like creating the chart of accounts, we have to create
Not
chart
chart.
of.
No, not chart. You have to create the account groups.
Yeah.
There,
Group.
there what I do, I can maintain the field status, whatever I want in the vendor master. Suppose in the vendor master, I want those fields required, optional, or whatever. Those fields where I can control from account group. I have to create the account group. There I can maintain the field status of the vendor master. Second step, I have to create the number range. That number range I have to assign to the account group. And finally, by taking that account group, I have to create the vendor master. Okay. So let us start from creation. I explained everything yesterday. If AP is, MM is not implemented, MM is implemented. That scenario clearly explained yesterday, right? So now I'm going to start doing configuration. Start with creation of vendor account group first. Like in case of GL accounts, I create the 17 account groups. There I am maintain the number range. Then only I can able to create the GLs. In the same way here also. preparations for vendor, accounts receivable, payable, vendor accounts, master data, preparations, define account groups with screen layout. So define nothing but vendor account group. So select new entries. Here, I'll create the account group also like our company code. Okay. So we can create with any name. Again, I'm telling we can create with any name, but for just easy purpose, identification purpose, I'm creating everything with the name of our company code. Okay. And this is for an vendor account group for N16. Okay. Okay, now what I'm doing under this account group, just go for company code data, double click. So again, account management, double click. Here, see, these are the fields. These are in optional mode. So these are all fields. When you create the vendor master by taking this N16 account group, these will come as an optional entry. Okay, but here I want this reconciliation account field as a required entry. I'm going to maintain as a required entry. What is it reconciliation account? So in the vendor master, I have to assign one GL account, I told you, right? So if I don't assign the GL account, what happens? The transactions of vendor will not go to the GL. So, okay, if it is an optional entry, what happens? That field will come as an optional entry in the vendor master when I'm going to create. If it is an optional entry, I may forget assigning the GL account and system will also allow you to save the data. So the transactions of vendor will not go to the GL. Suppose if I make this as a required entry, it will come with the tick mark, means required entry means you have to assign one GL account there. If you don't assign and you're trying to save it, no, system will not allow you, right? So always maintain this reconciliation account as a required entry, so that at any cost you cannot forget to assign the GL account in the vendor master. Okay, and then this cash management group is an optional mode. Actually, this cash management we use when cash management model has implemented. So that time we can use that. So even though this is an optional entry, small drawback here it comes as a required entry. Okay, even though optional entry, it comes as a required entry. Can you hear me?
Ma'am.
Yeah, because my net is getting disconnected. So even though this is an optional entry, it comes as a required entry. So this we use in the client place cash management model has implemented. In this case, we have to assign the cash management group for the vendor. So better maintain suppress. What I told, even the optional entry it comes as a required entry. That is a small drawback here. Okay, maintain as a suppress so that it will not come. Okay, so let it be all these fields optional. These are not much required. Okay, save. So whenever I'm going to create the vendor master by taking this account group, those field that comes as a suppress, this comes as a required, the remaining all comes as optional. Okay, save in the request. First step, I create the account group, go back. Second, I have to create one number range, create number range. Change interval. Here, you have to check the available number from the system. Okay, so 87 is over. 88 I will take. Okay, 88 I will take. So insert interval 88, select drop down list. $51 to $220. Okay, enter. Save it. Enter. Okay, fine. So what is this then? This number range, remember, this is number range. This is number range interval. Okay, 88 is a number range. This is the interval. Okay, so this number range 88, I have to assign to the next account group, so that when I take the account group, when I create the vendor master, Reliance vendor, first for the Reliance vendor, it will give the 151. When I create the Samsung, it will give 120, 152, right? So let me assign this 88 number range. Assign number range. Position account group. Account group 8. What is the number range? Under this number range, I assign the number range interval. Okay, save it. Save in your request. Okay, I created account group and I create the number range. I assign the number range to account group. 3 steps forward. Then we have to maintain the tolerance. What? Tolerance group. So if you want to allow that, we discuss the tolerance group for GL accounts, we discuss for the tolerance group for employees. Remember anybody please? Srinu,
Yes, madam.
what is tolerance group for employees?
Limit, given the limit, madam,
To whom?
for GL accounts limits.
No. GL, not I'm talking. Tolerance group for employees.
Yes, madam. Tolerance groups for GL and employees.
Srinu, your voice is not clear, Srinu. Little bit louder or
Yesterday
Take,
also my mic also not working.
not working. Okay. Anybody? Vishwanath,
Yeah,
what
ma'am.
is tolerance group for employees? Why we maintain tolerance group for employees?
It will allow the employees to post entries only from between intervals.
Right, almost there. So we are giving the axis. In simply other terms, by using the tolerance group for employees, we are giving the lower limit, upper limit to the end user. Suppose one user is 1 lakh rupees only limit. So we create one limit 1 lakh, or we can create one group under that 1 lakh. I can give access. That group I can assign to the that user ID, so that he can able to post up to 1 lakh. He try to post more than 1 lakh, it will not allow. That is the reason we create a tolerance group. But I didn't create the group, because if I create the group, I have to assign to the user IDs. Okay, right? So in the same way, tolerance group for employees. Okay, tolerance group for employees, tolerance group for vendors means you are giving access to the end user. You are allowing end users to make the payment to the vendor. Okay, so that is about tolerance group for vendors. If I don't assign my company code here, system will not allow the end user to make payment to the vendor. Okay. Business transaction, outgoing. Manual, define tolerance. new entries. Okay, so company code N16 I'm giving. Here I'm not creating any limit. If I create it, I have to assign to the user ID. Okay, just save it. Okay, then suppose if I skip this if I skip this step, what happen? If I want to make the payment to the vendor, there itself it will ask you maintain the limits. Okay, next. Okay, now I can create a vendor master. But before that, what we have to do now? We have to create the GL account, right? I told you that the GL account should be assigned into the vendor master, right? So first, let me create GL account. Okay, so for the accounts payable purpose, let me create one raw material GL account under current asset, and also let me create creditors. Creditors nothing but vendors. This GL account I have to assign into the vendor master. So let me go for OBD4. What is OBD4 T code? OBD4, what is the OBD4 T code?
Different
Accounts.
accounts group, madam.
Account group. Chart of accounts is I want to show you. So every time whenever you're creating GL accounts, you have to verify the okay, this account group. So here I want to create first one raw material. Raw material is usually current asset, right? So here you can take this current asset. You can take any number between this. Actually 2,100,000 I used for the cash. Okay, 2,105,000 I created some SBI something. So let me take 2,120,000. I'm going to take 2,120,000. Within this, you can take any number. So I am taking current assets, raw material because under current asset. So 2,120,000 I will create FS00. Two lakhs 120 company code with template. You can copy from any GL. Let me take the equity share capital for copy purpose. But I need to change the account group. What is that account group? This is the current asset. Yes, balance sheet. You have to change the raw material or inventory raw material GL account. Okay. So the remaining all are same. No need to change anything. Okay. Save it. Okay. Next, I have to create in creditors. Creditors nothing but vendors, right? I have to assign one GL account into the vendor master. So creditors usually where they will come liabilities, current liabilities, right? Current liabilities. Here I will take, I already create the 1,500,000 outstanding expense account. Okay, let me take 1,501,000. Okay, 1,501,000. Okay, so here you can copy from any GL. I'll take equity share capital again, but I have to change. This is the current liabilities and provisions. And yes, balance sheet and creditors or vendors, whoever, whatever it is. Okay, creditors. Next, here, yeah, how to make this reconciliation account for vendor. Why, you know? By selecting this reconciliation account vendor here, if the end user tried to post any transaction directly to this GL account, it will not allow him, it will throw the error. Because this GL account should update when vendor is updated in the accounts payable, that time only it should update, right? This GL account should not update directly. Say yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to update this GL directly without updating the vendor? That
No.
is right. So how you can control the end user if he tries to post to this GL directly? So by selecting this vendor reconciliation account type for vendor, so if you try to post to any transaction directly to this 1,501, it will not allow it. It will show the error. I will show you that. Okay. So select that, and here sort key. If you want in this ledger, you want to see the vendor number, means you can change it, or you want to see the posting date, keep it as it is. But in this ledger, this is belongs to the creditors, means vendor. In this ledger, I want to see the vendor number. What is the vendor number? So you can select it. Whatever the sort key you assign, the assignment field will come into the ledger. Vendor number, if I want to see, assign this. Okay. And here, this is, we have to assign Z067 field status for the reconciliation, because this is the GL account is reconciliation account, right? So select Z067 because this field status group suits for this GL. Okay, Z067. Save it. Okay, next. Okay, now I am ready to create the vendor master. Suppose before that, I will show you. If I try to post F-02, I'm just showing N16. What is that GL account? If I try to post, you can't directly post GL account. It will show in the error, right? Because I selected that option. Okay. Fine. So now let me create vendor master. Okay. So I create everything. So I'm telling again all the vendor master, all the GL master, all the customer assets, cost centers, profit center, where I can create directly, I can upload in the production server through LSM web. But whatever vendor master I'm creating, this is not my testing purpose. Okay. Let me create one vendor from SAP Easy Access. I am going to do testing and all. Okay. So where I can create a vendor master from SAP Easy Access, you know, XK01. Okay. XK. I told you whenever I am using SAP Easy Access, I want to use the transaction code. When I use SAP Easy Access for testing purpose. Okay. XK01. Okay, so here company code and account group. I create the account group. What is that account group? Here I assign 88 number range in interval, right? Enter. So give title company, name, Reliance vendors. Just for such term I am giving. Okay, country. Here, next entry for 4 times you have to enter so that you can reach the screen. These are all not required right now. Next, next, next. Yes, here. Do you remember that at the time of creation of account group, I maintain the reconciliation account as a required. Suppose it is, since it is in required entry, if I try to post by mistake, I forgot, if I try to post, it will not allow. Please fill the required entry, it is asking. So that is the reason, maintain this always in the required entry. Okay. What is the GL account I have to assign? 1,500,000, right? So by assigning this, the Reliance vendor transactions automatically update the GL. Okay. So in the Reliance vendor master report, what I'm telling, in the Reliance vendor report, when you look at, you want to see his vendor number. Here you can select vendor number. So by selecting this, this is for reporting. When you look at in the report, you can see the vendor number. Again, next screen, payment terms. By default, payment terms means so many are there here. Payment immediately, due net, means if I purchase any material today, I have to pay him today itself. So system defined payment terms, so many are there. LD 30, so which is due after 30 days. So many are there. Okay, but for the time being, let me select this. Here, by selecting this, at the time of posting, by default, the end user will get these payment terms. By default, he will get, but at the time of posting, still he wants to change from this payment terms to another payment terms. Yes, he can change that option also. By default, he will get this one. Still, if he wants to change, yes, he can change that also. Okay. And check double invoice checkbox. By selecting this option, what happened, Okay. Suppose one purchase invoice there with the Reliance vendor. Say 17 purchase invoice number with the vendor we already entered into the system by the end user. The same 17 purchase invoice from the same Reliance vendor, when the other end user try to post, system will show the error for the another end user saying that that invoice already posted, right or not? So because by selecting this checkbox, it will not allow the same invoice to be posted for the second time. Means it reduces the duplication of data. Okay, check double invoice checkbox. Okay, save it. Okay, next. Okay, I create the vendor master. Yeah. So next, what is the document type we are using for GL? Document type we are using for GL. Shravan, what is the document type we use for GL model?
And for
Huh?
posting documents,
No,
we give
what is the document type? Which one you use? We will use
KR vendor invoice
for GL purpose.
for GL purpose SA document.
SA, right?
Yes.
So why SA document type only? To look at the GL transactions only, right? In the same way, I want to see the vendor transaction. Okay, so in this case also, I told in the beginning, for each department wise, for each module wise, we have to maintain the document type. Suppose in case of in FB03, if I give SA document type, I'll see only GL. Suppose, let me go to FB03, where we can see the documents, right? FB03. So here, I want, if I give the document list, what happened? Here it will ask you document type. If I don't give any document type and execute, it will show the GL, AP, AR, asset accounting, all the documents. If I want to see GL only, SA. And again, if I want to see only vendor transactions, again in the vendor transaction, we have three document types. Three document types we have in the accounts payable for vendor. KR we use only for purchase invoices. KZ we use only for vendor payment. KA we use for reversal of vendor. Reversal of vendor means, suppose when I make the payment to the vendor, okay, it comes under KZ. When I make the payment to the vendor, that invoice comes, that document entry will come under KZ. Suppose if I reverse that, I mean, if I cancel the payment to the vendor, again it comes under KA. Okay, so for each and every transactions, we can see them separately. So KR means use only for at the time of purchases from the vendor, I use KR. At the time of payment to the vendor, I use KZ. When I reversal him, I use the KA. So finally, if I give KR only, I can see only vendor transaction. If I give KZ, I can see only payment to the vendor. KA means I can see only what are the invoices what are the payments I reverse with the vendor. So by maintaining the document types, so this is easy for us to track the documents, right? So we already maintain one document type where in the GL. So where it is? Anybody remember the T code? I will show you. It comes under GL. Document OBS7. The document is transaction code is OBS7. Remember this transaction OBS7. So that time for SA document, I maintain the number range here. Okay, SA document. There are so many document types. Okay, we already maintained for SA for GL. Now KR. KR means vendor invoice. Double click. Number range is given by SAP is 19. N16. 19 number range. This 01 is for the SA document type. This is 01 is SA. So interval, what is the number range for KR? 19 year 1 lakh to 1 lakh 500 I am giving. Okay, save it. Enter. Go back. Go back. KR is over. KZ payment. When I make the payment, I means the end user, when he makes the payment, he use KZ only. 15 number range. Okay, save it. KR, KZ over KA is there. Select position. KA 17. Okay, fine. So I maintain the document types, right? So it's over. Next, so I create a vendor master. Okay. Don't think that we are ready to post one purchase invoice from the vendor, because before that, we have to create the house banks. What? We have to create the house banks. So because if I want to make the payment, if I want to issue the checks to the vendor, there should be house banks in our system, right? Right? Whatever your client N16 using house banks, that data we should maintain in the SAP system. Whatever the checks he's having physically, that checks also we should maintain in SAP system. Then only the end user can able to maintain issue the checks from the system, from SAP system. So till we are not ready to post invoice to the vendor, not ready to make the payment means, because I have to create the house banks. Okay, so let me create house bank. Then I can raise the invoice, I can make the payment, I can issue the check, you can see the check register. If you want, you can cancel the check. So many things we can see that. Okay, so first let us create house banks. House banks are nothing but whatever your client is having banks. Okay, like maybe SBI Bank, LCSA Bank, those bank details we have to upload in SAP system. We have to maintain those house bank master data in SAP system. Okay, there are two scenarios which is given by SAP to create the house bank. Okay, what is that scenario? Suppose scenario one I will explain. So I have one SBI bank. Okay, SBI bank is there. Under that SBI bank, I have different account IDs from different locations. This is SBI bank. So and I create only one SBI bank. Under SBI bank, I can assign all account IDs from different branches. Suppose one Hyderabad, one account is ID is from Bangalore, one account ID is from Chennai. These three are from SBI only, from different locations or different branches. But the bank is SBI. What I am doing here, I'll create only one house bank as SBI. There I am assigning all accounting IDs of same SBI from different location. SBI from Hyderabad, SBI from Bangalore, SBI from Chennai. This is option one. Since this is all or from SBI, I create only one house bank. I assign all accounting IDs under that. But no, we have another option also. Actually, we use this second scenario, not this one. This is more flexible for tracking everything. This second scenario is flexible. Why means I tell you. So I create one house bank for here. What I'm doing here, what I did, all accounting IDs I club under one house bank. But here I'm not going to do that. I'll create one house bank for SBI Bangalore separately. I'll create one more house bank for Bangalore separately. I'll create one more SBI for Chennai. So here I'm creating locations wise or branch wise. So this is more flexible. You can easily track branch wise details. Understood? So this scenario, usually we follow this. Create house bank, branch wise. Okay. So if I want to create the house bank, okay, first I have to create the GL account. Because that GL account, suppose now I'm going to create the SBA house bank. That SBA house bank details you want to always update with the GL, right? So in this, you have to assign the GL account. That GL account you have to assign it to the house bank, SBA house bank. So whenever you're using that SBA house bank, system automatically update your GL. So if I want to create some house bank, first I have to create the GL. Okay. So first let me create the GL where I can create FS00, right? 2,100,000 is the cash GL account. Let me take 2,105,000. Okay. I'll copy from 2,100,000 cash. Yes, current asset balance sheet, SBI bank account. SBI bank account. The remaining all are same. I copied from SBI. Sorry, cash GL account. It should be selected with relevant cash flow. I told you in the beginning, cash related GL should be highlighted with the relevant cash flow. So at the time of cash inflow statement, we prepare, so it is useful for us. Because not only that, how system will come, because cash GLs are unique from the normal GLs, right? So how system will come to know this is belongs to cash GL? How to select the statement. Okay. Save. I created 2,105,000. These 2,105,000 I have to assign into the house banks from SPRO. Create house bank. Bank accounts FI tour. Define house banks. FI tour. N16 company code. Entries. House bank. Let me create house bank with SBI. Country. Bank key. So for BRS means big bank reconciliation statement purpose, bank will give us one bank key. That bank key name we should give this. Okay. I'm giving something. Okay. So this bank key which is given by the bank. Then create. Just give the name SBI bank. Okay. And okay, you can give all these details. I'm giving just Hyderabad. Enter. Then first save it. Then go to bank accounts. Here I have to assign again account ID, which is also given by SBI one. I am giving description, bank account number, your bank account number. So here GL account. What is this GL account?
Bank GL.
Why I am assigning GL?
While making the payment to vendor, it will assign here.
Uh,
While
Yes.
making the payment to vendor, it will assign here under the house bank settings.
Srinu, na?
Yeah, no, Shravan.
Shravan, tell me, Shravan. The voice is not clear, Shravan.
While making the payment to vendors, GL bank GL account is assigned under the house bank settings.
Exactly. So whenever you're doing not only payment, whenever you receive any amount, whatever, anything,
yes.
any transaction with the bank, it automatically update your GL model. Okay. Okay, currency. Okay, save. Okay, fine.
Madam, that bank account, madam,
Ah,
that bank account, vendor bank account or our bank account?
what, Srinu?
Bank account means vendor bank account or
No. This is your N16.
yeah, okay.
Why you maintain the vendor of bank details in your system? Right?
Why? Because we have to pay to a vendor
From your bank you will pay, right, Srinu?
through my bank.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, madam.
N16 is there. N16 company code, whatever the house bank it is having, from their house bank they will pay to the vendor.
Yeah.
My question is, why you want to maintain your vendor banks in your system? You have to maintain your company code banks, right? You suppose your N16. You have to maintain your bank details in the SAP system. Is it?
Okay, then we have to maintain vendor bank accounts also, right? We have to
Bank?
maintain. Vendor bank account also we have to maintain.
Why?
Okay, from our bank to vendor bank account we have to pay, right? So
You from my bank to you
my
want to-
bank, yes, madam, my bank to vendor bank account we have to pay.
yes.
Then 2 times our both bank accounts we have to maintain, right, madam?
But I'm not getting your points, So you're asking, you want to maintain vendor bank details also here.
Yes, madam. That
Why?
one. Through our bank to how can we pay to vendor, madam?
His bank details we can maintain in the vendor master. Okay. His
Okay.
account ID, his bank account ID is there. No, say for example, suppose his bank account ID is there. You want to transfer to his bank account ID. That bank details we can maintain in the vendor master, not here.
Yes, madam, got it.
This is your house bank. Okay. You want to maintain his mail ID, vendor mail ID, or vendor bank account number, that we can maintain in the vendor master. Not here. This is your bank.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, madam. Yes.
Bank details, this no need to maintain of vendor master. You just mention the account number of that vendor number in the vendor master. Okay. Wait, I will show you that.
Yes,
I
madam, I got it, madam. I got it.
got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So in the vendor master, we can maintain his bank account number. Suppose he is having some ICICI bank account number. So that account number we can maintain in the vendor master. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Fine. Okay, up to here we did. Okay. So tomorrow what I do know, I'll create some checklists. Okay, then I can create one invoice. I can make the payment, the testing, everything we can see tomorrow. Okay. Okay then. Any questions?
Madam,
Srinu.
just small doubt. What is the invoice, vendor invoice and the vendor payment? Means KR and KZ. KR, KZ. These two, what is the difference, madam? I couldn't understand.
KR, KZ.
Yes, madam.
KR we use only for invoices purpose. KZ we use for only payment. Okay.
Okay, but clearly, can you tell me?
Clearly means what is there? Why I'm maintaining the document type?
I mean, invoice pay, vendor invoice means whenever we purchase some, vendor gives the invoice, then we can pay. After that, vendor payment means?
When you purchase the raw material, what is that purchases, right?
Yes, purchase. Then they will give the.
First, you change your mics. I can't come to closer to the system. I can't bend. I can't hear. First, change your mic system. I will show you F-43. 1 second. Still, I didn't reach the screen. What is KRKZ? Suppose this is the screen where I can purchase the material. What is the document type it is coming?
KR.
KR. At the time of purchases, only we use KR. Why? If I want to see the purchases only documents, I can go to KR document and in FB03. I show you now. FB03, if I want to see purchase transactions only with the vendor.
Yes,
KR I
ma'am.
can use. Suppose I am making payment. This I have to show you tomorrow. When I'm making the payment by default, what it is coming?
Is it?
Huh?
KZ.
KZ, which means what? At the time of payment, you are using KR, KZ only.
Here,
KZ.
madam.
Huh? KZ, right? So finally, why I am using KR? Why I am using KZ? You tell me. Please others tell me why I am using KR only, why I am using KZ only.
For reporting.
Why KR, why I use
Care for input.
Here for
KR
payment.
for
Here for payment.
purchases.
Vendor invoices.
Purchases only. If I want to see in the document list, if I want to see purchases documents only, means I can give the KR, I can see purchases documents only. If I want to see the vendor payment documents only in the FB03, I can give only KZ document type. Right? So why I'm maintaining different document types? To track the documents transaction wise. I'm not maintaining KR, KZ, KA. Suppose system using only KR. KR means for vendor payment, vendor transaction, reversal. If I all together I maintain under KR, so how I can track transaction wise, right? That is the reason SAP has given document types each submodule wise. SA only for GL. Again in accounts payable, 3 document types, KR, KZ, KA. So to track transaction wise documents, SAP has given documents. Okay. This we can see again tomorrow. Okay. When I post, I will show you this. Okay.
Yes, madam.
When we use KR, when we use KZ. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.